Hi. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you. Welcome to Vika's house today. Today we want to make a shiur about Hanukkah. It's not a typical shiur. It's kind of, it's a learning shiur. You have to concentrate to understand what I say because it's very, very deep. Okay? When we speak about Hanukkah, it's the Greek nation that came to rule over Israel. Okay? Now, the Greeks were not a typical, regular nation that comes to win over Israel. They start with all kind of killings, and they're not a typical enemy. The Greeks were very wise nation in a way that came to Israel in a different angle. Okay? They were not like the Crusaders that came and were trying to impose and force us to take Christianity on top of us. They were not like the Nazis that wanted to uproot Jewish people from whatever Judaism is, to kill everybody. They were not like the Russians, communists that were atheists but didn't believe in any religion. They were not like some other nations. They came different as they came to Israel. They were very kind in the beginning, very respecting in the beginning, and they just wanted us to be a nation like all the other nations, with no special uniqueness, with no special mitzvot, with no Torah. Because the Torah is the one that makes us special, right? So they wanted us to forget the Torah. So how exactly did they do that? We will try to speak about this today. Let's go to our parashot, to the Torah, okay? A portion of the Torah that we read. When Yaakov wants to come back to Israel, okay? After the tribes were born, he wants to come back to Israel. As he comes back to Israel, he knows that his brother Esau, he wants to kill him, okay? So he sends messengers to Israel to find out what exactly is the intentions of his brother. He wants to kill him. He wants to feel mercy on him. He forgives him, or he holds grudge. He wants to know. So he sends messengers. The messengers comes back and tell to Yaakov, Banu el achicha el Esav. We came to your brother, to Esav. Why they say to your brother, to Esav? Why to double? They say they saw Esav two-faced. One face that he's really upset at Yaakov. He has a lot of hatred in him. He wants to kill him. He wants to take revenge. Okay? And from one side, they see him that he comes like a friendly person with a smile, with a grin in his face, and like a brother. So when Yaakov hears that his brother has two faces now, from one side he's an enemy, from the other he comes like a friend, this is when he's more afraid. So he prays to Hashem, Hatzileni na, miyad achi, miyad Esav. Again, 2 times, miyad achi, from my brother, please Hashem save me, from my brother, from Esav. Why 2 times, miyad achi, miyad Esav? Please Hashem save me from Esav that wants to kill me, okay? And from my brother that wants to show friendship, wants to show brotherhood, wants to help me out, and tells me, you want me to walk with you? I'll walk slowly, that's fine, I'll walk with you. And he's telling you, please, don't leave me alone, I don't want to walk with you, I don't want my kids to have any influence from you, I don't want you to be friends with me, nothing at all. This we see throughout all the history. How Esau comes in these 2 faces. Once in a harsh way, once friendly. Okay? When the Greek came to Israel in the beginning, they were very friendly. as I said, they didn't really start with killings and stuff. No. They just said, okay, you have schooling system, that's beautiful. Nobody by that time had any school system to young kids, only Jews, okay? That's very fine. But don't learn only Torah. Have some Hellenism, modernization, arts, physical, get exercise, learn, how to exercise and beautify the body. Learn some other things, philosophy, and some other interesting things. And this is something very, very dangerous. You know that when Napoleon, he was controlling another country and another country and another country, many rabbis were supporting him, because with him came equality to the Jews. In Europe at that time, it was very, very hard to Jewish people. They couldn't find good jobs. They couldn't get good education, because they limited them very much. It was hard. It wasn't easy. And Napoleon, he promised equality to everybody. Everybody can go into the university and study. Everybody can reach high positions and stuff like that. But from the other side, as he got approached to Russia, they were afraid of him, the rabbis. They say, Naftali Mirupshitz, Admor Miladi, Shneur Zalman Miladi, the Admor from Chabad, they were very much afraid of Napoleon. Yes, it wasn't easy. There were 3 million Jews that lived in Russia, and the Tsars in Russia were choking them. It was very hard. It wasn't easy. They were tough with them very much. And still, a Rabbi Chabad said it's much easier to know who is our enemy, much easier in a way to live in Russia with the Tsars than to live with Napoleon, because who knows what's going to happen with his friendship. Once you go to the university, you mingle, you assimilate, you forget about the Judaism. And this is what they were afraid of. Okay, let's go to our main part of the shiur. The Gemara in Masechet Bechorot speaks about a big debate, a big argument between the wise people of Athens, Greek, the Greek philosophers, and the Jewish people. Now, on the surface, it looks like what they're talking about. What is the level of their argument? But as you go deep into their arguments, you see that they're talking very, very deep questions and answers over there. And let's start to learn what is it all about. The Greeks with the Jews. Okay? So, for example, I'll give you a question and an answer, okay? And we will see what exactly is the meaning over there. So the Greeks are asking the rabbi, there are 2 eggs. How would you know which eggs come from a white hen and which egg comes from a black hen? So the Rabbi Yehoshua answers very nice. He says, you know something? I'll give you 2 pieces of cheese. You tell me which cheese comes from a white goat and which cheese comes from a black goat. Okay? So on the surface you don't understand. So what exactly? What is the level of this? What is this? It was a game, riddles. What exactly is there? But as we go and understand deeply the Gemara over here, it's unbelievable. They are talking about the most important issues that people still have questions, and they're asking, and Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hananiah, he answers them all these questions. It's beautiful, beautiful to see. I'm telling you, I took the Gemara and I was trying to learn by myself what exactly is written there, because there's no mefashim on this, there's no commentaries on that. Rashi explains words, but the words doesn't really explain the whole idea, the whole conception of this idea. So my husband showed me and Yaakov the Maharsha, a rabbi that lived around 500 years ago. We spoke about him once, I gave you a story about him, very, very special man. And he explains it in such a deep way that it's beautiful to learn what is the story of Hanukkah all about from this Gemara. Okay? So, the whole story started with a scientist, non-Jewish scientist, that once he saw how a snake and a female snake get together. Okay? So he put them in a barrel, and from that time on, he watches them, and he wants to see, the scientist, how long takes this snake, how long it gets pregnant, how long this snake is pregnant for, how long. He checks for 3 years. And for 3 years, okay, after 3 years it gives birth. This snake gave birth. He was so excited. It was a big innovation for him. He thought he found something interesting. He finds a rabbi, Rabban Gamliel, and he tells him, I found to know that a female snake gives birth after 3 years. Rabban Gamliel tells him, it's not like you think. I would recommend you to speak with our rabbi, Rabbi Yehoshua, and Rabbi Yehoshua will teach you a lesson. Rabbi Yehoshua knows much better than you. So he goes to the Rabbi Yehoshua and he asks him, Rabbi, please tell me how long is the female snake pregnant for? He tells him 7 years. 7 years? How do you know? I made the research for 3 years. I was holding and looking at this snake, and I found to know that it's pregnant for 3 years. How do you know it's for 7 years? He tells him from the Torah. Simple calculation in the Torah, I found to know that it's pregnant for 7 years. Okay, so if you want, I'll explain you what is this calculation that Rabbi Yehoshua did. He said, everything we learn from the Torah, okay? Everything that's living, alive, an animal, has the same parallel time in plants and something that grows. For example, he says, a chicken lays eggs for 21 days. After 21 days, a chick, hatches from the egg, and it's exactly the same days, 21 days, that the almond and the nut trees, from the time that the flower comes till the fruit comes out, it's 21 days. Okay? Then he says, a dog is pregnant for 50 days. Parallel to this, the fig tree is also, after 50 days, it gives the fruit. A cat is pregnant for 52 days, and so a strawberry tree. The pig is pregnant for 60 days, and so the apple tree. The fox and other insects is pregnant for 6 months, and so is the grain. Behemat dakat Torah, kosher animal, 5 months, and opposite to it, grapes. Behemat gasat tme'ah, non-kosher, 11 months, and opposite to it, the dates. Behemat gasat Torah, kosher animal, 9 months, and opposite to it is the olive tree.
What do you mean opposite is the olive tree?
It's not important for us. It doesn't important. The lion, the wolf, the elephant, the tiger, the monkey, all these are pregnant for 3 years each. And from here learns Rabbi Yehoshua that the snake is pregnant 7 years. How did he find out? It says about the snake, cursed are you, mikol ha-behema u'mikol chayat hasadeh, from all the behemot and from all the chayot. Okay? Now, the chaya and a dog is pregnant, we said, for 50 days. Okay? Behemat me'ah is pregnant for 1 year. We see from here that behema suffers times 7 than a chaya, than an animal, because in 1 year, because there's 7 times 50 days, it becomes a year. And because it says that the snake is cursed more than the behemah and more the chaya, we see that the behemah is cursed times 7 from the chaya. So the behemah is pregnant for the whole year, and the nachash is times 7 cursed from the behemah, 7 years it's pregnant. He says, unbelievable, these scientists. I didn't know that. How could you see from your Torah something that I was working for 3 years? So he heard that, and then also the emperor in Rome heard that. And he calls Rabbi Yehoshua, and he wants to find out, how come the Greek philosophers or the scientists, they know that a snake, female snake, gives birth after 3 years. How do you say it's 7 years? He says, you don't know. That snake that he saw, and he put that in a barrel, and he watched them, this snake already was pregnant 4 years before. He says, how come? Usually animals, they don't get together after they get pregnant. He says, yes, except the snake. The snake is in a way closer or same as a human being, as people, and they get together also after they get pregnant. Also, the way that they have relations is different. Animals, it's not face to face, and the snake and humans are. There's a lot of similarities. I don't want to get too much into it. Why a snake is so much like a human being, but Rabbi Yehoshua explains something like that. He says that the snake is the source of the sin that we did in Etz Hadat, in the wisdom tree. For you Greek people, science is so important. It's the most important thing of everything, science. And here I showed you in a simple math that you don't know anything. Our Torah is much deeper and much stronger than your science. He was shocked. He didn't know what to tell him. When the emperor in Rome saw that Rabbi Yehoshua is so smart, he tells him, I want you to debate with the Greek philosophers, not only with one scientist, with all the Greek philosophers. The Greek philosophers were very known, that they were very smart, very wise, know everything, and he wanted the Rabbi Yehoshua, to have a debate with them, an argument with them. It's a whole story how Rabbi Yehoshua got to them, and how, we don't want to get too much into it, but basically once he meets them, they're asking him 12 questions. And now please hold with me. They're very deep questions. On the surface it looks like riddles, but they're very deep, and Rabbi Yehoshua answers them one answer after the other. It's beautiful what he teaches them. First question. A man wanted to get married to a woman, but the family of the woman didn't want to give him the girl. Would he have a chance to get a better shiur, a better girl, better family, more beautiful, let's say, better age? Would he have this chance? So, Rabbi Yehoshua, what he did, he took a nail and he was trying to nail it in the bottom of the wall. It didn't go through. So then he nailed it on the top of the wall, and it stuck inside. Basically, he tells them, yes, he can marry a better quality girl. They tell him, how come? How come somebody that refused him the first time, how come he can get a better chance? Basically, the question is like this. They tell him, and you can see this principle in the Greek philosophy. When, God forbid, a child is born sick or defective or some kind of a problem, they don't give it a chance. They used to kill little kids if they have no hope, if they are not going to be healthy. Also elders, if you are a burden on the society and we cannot contribute to the society anymore, who needs you? They would kill older people that there's no use in them. Because they say, if there's no hope in the world, you have no future, why do we need you for? The Greeks say something different. They say there was Esav and there was Yaakov that came from the same womb, the same stomach. Okay? If Hashem, okay? If Hashem didn't choose Esav to be as the firstborn, why do you think he should choose Yaakov? Yaakov thinks he's more better, he's superior, he's better quality. Why should he choose Yaakov, I'm sorry. Why should Hashem give you another chance? Why should we give you a better chance? Your temple was destroyed. Your temple, Israel is in exile now. This argument was after the time of the destruction. We're talking about the Rome Empire, where Rabbi Yehoshua is making debate with the Greek philosophers, but it's after the destruction of the temple. You have to understand, Jewish people are devastated. They are exiled. They are not in their homeland. They are in Rome. They are all over. They are scattered. Their temple is destroyed. And the Romans are telling them, the Greeks are telling them, who said that Hashem likes you at all? This is what the Christianity till now say. They all say that, okay, we were the chosen nation, but now Hashem doesn't care about you anymore. It's us, it's the new testimony, it's not the old testimony anymore. And Rabbi Yehoshua keeps telling them no. What does Rabbi Yehoshua says? In the Nevi'im and in the Ketuvim, there is an allegory of Chatan and Kala, of a bride and a groom. That Hashem is the Chatan and us, Jewish people, are the Kala, we are the bride, Hashem is the groom. In the beginning, Esav was supposed to be the firstborn. But Esav didn't want to be available to Hashem. Like the first night, bride and groom, how hard it is for them when the woman is so much afraid and she makes herself not available to her husband. She's afraid. But Yaakov was available to Hashem. Yaakov did connect to Hashem. And you say we Jews have no hope? We do believe in hope. You think little kids cannot live if they are sick? We say there is hope. And if he was not able to get married to that girl, he would find a better thing. We believe that Hashem will build us again the temple. Okay? That's the answer. Question number 2. Let's say a man, Reuven, lended Shimon money. And Shimon could not pay all the debt to Reuven. Now Shimon needs to take another loan. Would Reuven lend him some more money, yes or no?
Would he or should he?
Most
Should he?
probably he will not.
Should he or shouldn't he? Yes.
He should, but he probably will not.
Too quick,
So-
that way.
So Rabbi Yehoshua answers something like that, and soon I will explain. So let's say there was this man that went to chop some woods in the forest. He chopped and chopped and chopped, but then saw that he won't be able to carry all this wood that he chopped. And yet he continued chopping. Why does he continue chopping? Because he has a hope. He has an anticipation that somebody will show up and help him to carry this load. Okay? So he continues chopping, just in a hope that somebody will help him. This is something that he answers. Let's try to understand what exactly it means. Hashem lends human being, us people, life. We have to repay by doing good deeds to others, okay? Making mitzvot and stuff like that. And but say the Greek philosophers, your temple is destroyed. Hashem gave you chance, okay? Gave you life, gave you chances, but then you didn't repay the loan. Why should Hashem build you another temple? Why should Hashem forgive you? Why should Hashem give you a second chance if you didn't pay for the first loan? You understand? So he tells him, there is somebody that will help Hashem to carry this burden of the chopped wood that we say. There is somebody that will help Hashem to carry this burden. Rabbis, Chachamim, are going to help Hashem to for us to, so that we will not make these sins again. Meaning, they will make all kind of takanot, they will fix all kind of things, they will make all kind of restrictions so that we will get distance from the sin, so we won't sin again. Meaning, we put our hope on the rabbis that will connect us back to Hashem. Okay? So basically, we also have a lot of experience from the first temple, second temple. We just hope that the good will increase and we will go back to our own, back to whatever we were there before. Question number 3. Give us a lie. Tell us something that's false. Okay, something that's not true. Fabricate something for us. He tells them there was this mule that gave birth. Okay, that gave birth, and as it gave birth, it was on the baby's neck was hanging up a bill that said over there that this baby will repay $100,000 that his father owns. They tell him, "Can a mule give birth?" And they answer him, "You wanted me to say a lie. Something that cannot be happening." What's the idea over here? So the Greek philosophers say, you Jewish people, you represent false. You think your ideology is the right one. You're the most important. You know, you have the Torah. You're a whole big false. You are not true. The fact is that your temple is destroyed and Hashem forgot about you. Hashem doesn't care about you anymore. Okay? This is something that they say. And so, tell us a lie. We know that you present lie anyway. Give us something from the Torah because we don't believe that the Torah is true. This is what they ask him. And Rabbi Yehoshua answers them, even though for this moment now we're weak, we're not so strong, but at least we give fruit. You, as a mules, you don't give fruit. As mules, you're very strong. A mule is a very strong animal that can work in the field. You're very strong, but you don't pay any attention. You don't care about the future, no continuity. You don't care about your children, what's the offsprings that is going to come out of you. And this is the difference between us and you. You think that the fact that you're so strong now, it's enough. No, the fact that we're weak, we're weak at the moment, but at least we give fruit and we have a future. You don't. Question number 4. This I mentioned to you in the past. What happens when a salt gets rotted? Salt. When it gets rotten, when it rots, how do you fix it? How do you preserve it? He answers them with the placenta of a mule. So he tells them, does a placenta, they ask him, does a mule has a placenta? You know? And he answers them, does salt rot?
That was a question.
Okay? This is the question on the other. What exactly does that mean? So, salt usually is a material that preserves. So years ago we didn't have refrigerators, so we would preserve the meat by putting it in salt. Make kalbasa, something that stays for a long time because you put salt inside. Right? So, the nations say that you Jewish people, you had a covenant, you had a brit with Hashem, but this brick fell down and broke. You have nothing now between you and Hashem. Hashem, destroyed your temple. Whatever keeps you is your Torah, and your Torah got old-fashioned. Your Torah rots. You have to add some Hellenism, you have to put some modernization, you have to add some science and arts and stuff and whatever to make it attractive to your young generation. What does Rabbi Yehoshua answers them? You know something? When you merge, when you put together two things, you put a donkey and a horse together, it becomes a mule. Sometimes it's very interesting, you know, it's a very interesting animal. It's strong, it's nice. But the thing is that mule doesn't have continuity, doesn't have children. The Torah never rots. The Torah never gets old-fashioned. The Torah is the one that keeps us and the one that shows that we always have this covenant between us and Hashem. And the same way that you cannot fix it with a placenta of a mule which does not have a placenta, this is how Torah does not rot. Next, question number 5. They tell him, build us a house in the air. He says, fine. He says a holy name, and he gets high between heaven and earth, and he tells them, now I'm there. Please bring me up bricks and mud, and I'll build a house in the air. They say, how can we do that? So he says, what's the point of building a house in the air? What exactly does it mean? The philosopher Greeks, the Greek philosophers, they say, your land, your holy temple, okay, is destroyed. Your dream to build a new temple is in the air. You're dreaming. What? Who said it's going to come true? No, dreams in the air are not realistic. That's what they say. Your temple will never be rebuilt again. That's what they say. So Rabbi Yehoshua tells them that the holy temple is the one, yes, that connects us with Hashem, between heaven and earth. It says that the holy temple is Hamakom Asher Bachar Hashem Leshaken Shemo Sham, His name. We're talking about the name over here. He mentioned a holy name before, right? The Greek philosophers, they are the ones that continued the legacy of these people that lived in Babylon that wanted to build a tower that the head of it will come to the sky. Wanted to fight over there with Hashem. It says over there, Naaseh lanu Shem, they wanted to make their name great. Naaseh lanu Shem, nivneh lanu ir umigdal rosho b'shamayim. We want to build this kind of house that is going to get till Hashem. And Rabbi Yehoshua tells them that we keep this connection with Hashem. Okay, we don't have the holy temple, but we do it through learning the Torah, through learning the holy names, through learning the deepest meanings of the Torah. Okay, we are connected to heaven even without us holding so much into the ground. You think, he tells them, that the ground is the most important thing. What it says, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim v'et haaretz. When Hashem created the world, in the beginning, what did Hashem created? The heaven and the earth. Question, why heaven and then the earth? Isn't the foundation the most important thing, the earth and then the heaven? Why first building the sky and then the land and then the ground? So Rabbi Yehoshua answers them that spirituality is the most important thing, then materialistic world. Okay? This is the debate between the Greeks and the Jewish rabbis. So, question number 6. Where is the middle of the world? Rabbi Yehoshua says, here, where I'm standing. What exactly is the question? They tell him that when middle of the world, for many years, the Holy Temple was the center of the world. Even for the Gentiles, it was the center of the world. But now you don't have a center. I mean, you don't have a Holy Temple. Your whole temple is destroyed. You are detached. You're nothing now. So Rabbi Yehoshua answers them, I'm sorry. Wherever I am, this is where the middle of the world is. Meaning that you think that without our holy temple we cannot survive. We are not important. But we have the Torah. And the Torah is the center of everything. You cannot say that we are detached because we have the Torah. Okay, so we don't have a building, but again, spirituality is what counts. Question number 7. We have a well in the field. Well, water in the field. Bring it to the middle of the city. He tells them, okay. Make me ropes from bran. Okay, it's leftovers of the grain, and I will bring the well into the city. What exactly does that mean? Beautiful. The well represents the Holy Temple. The same way that the well waters everybody, gives water, saturates everything, keeps giving water, good. Same way, this is the Holy Temple. Used to give, is the source of spirituality to everybody, source of holiness to everybody. And so they tell them, your Holy Temple is in exile now. You don't have it. Basadeh, it's in the field. It's not in the middle of the city. It's not the middle of your life anymore. It's not the middle of everything. So go. How could you bring it back into the city? Rabbi Yehoshua tells them, make me ropes from bran. What exactly it means? You know, a wheat. If you take a wheat, grind it, you make flour from this, okay? Then you add water and some other ingredients, like when you make a challah, right? You put it together, you knead it, and you combine it, it gets united. A bran is the leftover of the grain. You cannot combine it, you cannot unite it, you cannot work with it, you cannot make a dough out of it. And this is criticism to us, to Jewish people. He says, as long as Jewish people are not united, the Holy Temple will not be built. This is something that we have to learn how to combine, how to merge, how to get together, how to unite. Question number 8. How do you fix, we want you to sew broken millstone. How do you sew broken millstone?